Kind of a frosty morning, and I'm off to try out a new piece of equipment. I'm gonna go out here and see if I can find some trees that hang up on. Try something out. This is a place on our property here I often go to and can have a little camp back here. Keep building a little bushcraft camp back here at some point, but there's a fire pit and a bed that I made. I'll show you that. It's a few years old, and see what kind of shape it's in. Just a little more snow here at the edge of the woods. Hope I can find a place in here that is sort of flat and sort of dry, but we'll take what we get. Here's my fire pit. Here's a little bench that's left from a previous camp. This is my new item. It's a 4x4 tarp by DD Tarps, DD Hammocks. We're gonna get into that today. A little bit of extra cordage. It's their own multi-cam, they call it, multi-cam camouflage pattern. I'm gonna try to hang on that tree right there, put this tarp up. I'm gonna clear a little spot right there on the ground. Send with the tarp 4 of the world's flimsiest stakes, but that's okay. They're useful for now, and certainly replace them later. And then the guy line, looks like there's 4 guy lines with these adjusters on. I think I'm going to start off with putting a rope within that tree. Frozen in here somewhere. The tree right here is going to go in because of that. Kind of trying out a few different setups with it. I like the color. You're looking at the inside. With this big of a tarp, there's a multitude of ways to set it up. So this is just one sort of configuration with this tarp, and the wind keeps blowing. I can't stake it down because the ground is frozen, so I'd have to find logs or rocks or something to put everything down. And I would do that if I was staying here. This is a lot of coverage. Guy could have a fire over there. I'm way back here out of the land, and if it was raining, it's snowing a little bit, sleeting a little bit. It's right around 32 degrees freezing. Just kind of trying things out. I wanted to talk about my machete a little bit, and this is the sheath I made for it. And the machete is just a $20 item on Amazon. I wanted one, but you know, there's big brands that are very expensive, and I just wondered if a $20 one would chop and do what I needed it to do. So I had to reprofile it. I had to work on it a little. This side was flat and was all painted black when I got it, and I ground it down and reprofiled that. I put a taper on it to flip pancakes or eggs or dig a hole, and it does. I sharpened the spine so I could use it with a ferro rod, and it works really good. I can chop real good with that. Sheath I made for it is out of birch bark. I don't have any video on that. I just have a few pictures that I took. It's a real positive retention in there. It stays in real well. And I learned how to do this from watching videos, and primarily Morris Kohansky. If you want to learn the best about something, I think you go to the beginning to start with, and then people have made a lot of improvements or additions or whatever. It's got a belt loop I can put on my belt and carry it. And you know, I wanted to know, can I do something that's serviceable for a lower price than $100 or $200, and I can. So it works out real good. The blade length is about 10 or 11 inches long. Sometimes you'd want a longer one, but I was able to clear off the little weed trees that are all around here. And in this little patch of woods, it's a tree that's called balm of Gilead. It's pretty much a weed. It grows all over on our farm here, and it encroaches on every field. At this point, I'm going to try to hang up the tarp in another configuration, see how we go. With a 4x4 tarp, or I think that's 15 feet or thereabout. That's a really big tarp, and it would be plenty big for 2 people. And there's other ways of doing this. Now I've seen where somebody could put a ridge line up, and that's a possibility here. You could put a ridge line up and not use the 2 sticks. I had the 2 poles on the bed over here, so I just grabbed them up and used them quick. And that would provide an ample shelter. I can't get a stake in the ground at the back because the ground is frozen, so I'm tied to that log there. But if I'm gonna come up here and just step on this, if that was pinned to the ground properly. Pretty big, wide area for 1 or 2 people. I like it. Well, I'm inside the tarp here, and I've learned a couple of things in this short little adventure. The reason to put a ridge line up is because it keeps everything straight in line. And I tried to do it with those poles, and every time I adjust one pole, the other one goes kind of wonky. And it would take 2 guide lines on a pole to make it stay put, and then be able to pull it straight in line. Otherwise, you've got the 2 points on the poles that you're holding up that way, and you've got the tree that's that way, that's got the high spot, and I've got the log back there that is the low spot. Of course, I'm having a little trouble because I can't put stakes in the ground. Maybe that's because I have the flimsy stakes that came with it. They'd be great if you were just doing something simple, I guess, but in any kind of wind or hard ground or soft ground where you have to go deep to drive the stake deep, you're not gonna have much success with a stake like that. I kind of prefer the poly stakes that are, I've got black ones and red ones and yellow ones, and they're all about the same. It's probably what I would want to use to stake with, and I'd probably next time put it up with a ridge line in this configuration. Trying to do a kind of a plow point with the 2 sides dropped, not pulled out flat that way, but to go out and go straight down to make a wall tent basically with this opening up here. Anyway, that's been kind of fun. I'm gonna quit now and I'm gonna go back to the house, I think, and get ready for the rest of the day. Spend time with family and do some other things. But I've always wanted this big of a tarp, and I have 10-foot tarp, which is a 3x3, I think. And I'll do some other configurations with that. I've got some other ideas with this one too, but I'll save that for another day, I suppose. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Did I get everything? Okay. See you next time.